The sky has always symbolized freedom and adventure, yet it can turn into a scene of unimaginable tragedy in an instant. Aviation, despite its advancements in technology and safety, is not immune to disaster. From human error to mechanical failure and extreme weather, plane crashes often leave behind stories that are both haunting and awe-inspiring. Today, we explore 10 of the most shocking plane crashes in history, events that shook the world and changed the way we think about air travel. In March 1974, Turkish Airlines Flight 981 was en route from Istanbul to London when disaster struck over the Ermenonville forest in France. The DC-10, a state-of-the-art aircraft at the time, suffered a catastrophic cargo door failure that caused explosive decompression. The plane plummeted from the sky, leaving no survivors among the 346 passengers and crew. The investigation revealed that a design flaw in the cargo door latching system was the culprit, leading to sweeping changes in aircraft safety standards. The incident remains one of the deadliest single aircraft disasters in history, demonstrating how a single mechanical oversight can have devastating consequences. Fast forward to July 1985, Japan Airlines Flight 123 experienced one of the most horrific accidents in aviation history. The Boeing 747SR, traveling from Tokyo to Osaka, suffered an explosive decompression due to a faulty repair on the tail section. Pilots struggled to regain control, but the plane spiraled uncontrollably, crashing into the mountains of Gunma Prefecture. Of the 524 people on board, 520 lost their lives. This crash highlighted the dire consequences of improper maintenance and emphasized the importance of stringent oversight in aircraft repair protocols. In June 1972, Eastern Airlines Flight 401, a Lockheed L-1011 TriStar, crashed into the Florida Everglades. The crew became fixated on a malfunctioning landing gear indicator light, diverting their attention from the autopilot. This brief distraction proved fatal as the plane slowly descended until impact. Of the 176 on board, 101 perished. The crash led to critical changes in cockpit resource management, underlining the importance of communication and situational awareness among flight crews. The skies over the Andes became the backdrop for one of the most incredible survival stories in aviation history. In October 1972, Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571, carrying a rugby team and their friends, crashed in the remote mountains. The survivors faced freezing temperatures, avalanches, and starvation. Remarkably, after 72 days, 16 out of 45 passengers were rescued. The incident is infamous not only for the crash, but also for the harrowing measures the survivors took to stay alive, emphasizing the indomitable human spirit in the face of unimaginable odds. In November 1979, American Airlines Flight 191, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, took off from Chicago O'Hare only to crash shortly after departure. The left engine detached from the wing, severing critical hydraulic lines and causing the plane to lose control. All 271 people on board perished. The investigation revealed maintenance errors during engine installation as the primary cause, prompting a re-evaluation of airline maintenance procedures and stricter federal regulations. The skies over Tenerife, Canary Islands, were the scene of an accident in March 1977 that remains the deadliest aviation disaster in history. A KLM Boeing 747 attempted to take off while a Pan Am 747 taxied on the same runway in heavy fog. Miscommunication between air traffic control and pilots led to a catastrophic collision, claiming 583 lives. The Tenerife disaster became a turning point in aviation, emphasizing the need for standardized communication protocols and reinforced the critical role of human factors in flight safety. In August 1987, Northwest Airlines Flight 255, a McDonnell Douglas MD-80, crashed shortly after taking off from Detroit Metropolitan Airport. Investigators discovered that the pilots failed to extend the flaps and slats, crucial components for lift. With insufficient lift, the aircraft could not gain altitude and crashed, killing 156 of the 155 passengers and crew. This tragedy underscored the importance of checklists and procedural adherence, which are now considered cornerstones of aviation safety. In December 1994, American Eagle Flight 3379, a regional Saab 340, crashed during an approach in New Jersey. The aircraft stalled due to pilot error and mismanagement of the controls, resulting in the deaths of all 12 people on board. This crash, along with several similar incidents, led to increased focus on training for regional airlines, ensuring that pilots are better equipped to handle complex approaches and emergencies. On September 11, 2001, the world watched in horror as 4 planes were hijacked in a coordinated terrorist attack. American Airlines Flight 11 and United Airlines Flight 175 were deliberately flown into the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center, while American Airlines Flight 77 crashed into the Pentagon. United Airlines Flight 93, destined for another target, crashed in a Pennsylvania field after passengers attempted to regain control. In total, nearly 3,000 people were killed. While not a traditional accident, these events reshaped aviation security and international counterterrorism measures forever, showing that air travel can be vulnerable to human malevolence as well as mechanical failure. In May 2009, Air France Flight 447, an Airbus A330 traveling from Rio de Janeiro to Paris, vanished over the Atlantic Ocean. The pilot struggled with inconsistent airspeed readings caused by iced-over pitot tubes. Confusion in the cockpit led to a stall from which the aircraft never recovered. All 228 on board perished. This disaster prompted major changes in pilot training, emphasizing manual flying skills and better understanding of automation systems, as well as improvements in aircraft instrumentation for extreme weather conditions. Each of these tragedies carries a unique story of loss, heroism, and lessons learned. The skies are vast and seemingly boundless, yet the human and mechanical elements that govern flight are inherently fallible. In the aftermath of every crash, investigations reveal a complex tapestry of errors, misjudgments, and unforeseen circumstances, leading to advances in technology, training, and safety regulations. Aviation safety has grown exponentially over the past decades, yet these stories remain stark reminders of the fragility of human life and the enormous responsibility borne by those who pilot and maintain our aircraft. Understanding these disasters is not about sensationalism. It is about acknowledging the sacrifices made and the knowledge gained. From tragic mechanical failures to lapses in human judgment and unforeseen weather extremes, each crash has contributed to making air travel safer for millions around the globe. Aviation experts, engineers, and regulators constantly work to prevent history from repeating itself, yet the unpredictable nature of flight ensures that vigilance is never optional. While air travel is statistically one of the safest modes of transportation, the stories of these 10 plane crashes stand as chilling reminders of how quickly things can go wrong. They challenge us to reflect on the balance between human skill, technological advancement, and the unpredictable forces of nature. They also serve as testaments to the courage of flight crews, first responders, and survivors who face unimaginable circumstances with resilience and bravery. In remembering these disasters, we honor those who lost their lives, celebrate the lessons learned, and reinforce the ongoing commitment to safer skies. Aviation, for all its sophistication and engineering marvels, is still a human endeavor, subject to error, oversight, and circumstance. Yet, through tragedy, we continue to learn, adapt, and innovate, striving to ensure that the freedom of the skies remains a safe haven rather than a theater of catastrophe. As we conclude this exploration of 10 unbelievable plane crashes, it becomes clear that the story of aviation is not just about machines and technology, it is about people, their decisions, mistakes, courage, and perseverance. Every flight carries with it the hope of safe passage, but also the weight of historical lessons etched in tragedy. In honoring these lessons, we ensure that every journey through the skies is not only an adventure, but a tribute to the relentless pursuit of safety, knowledge, and human ingenuity.